It starts with two simple words. I'm fine. They sound harmless, polite, mature, but in truth, they're the most practiced lie in the adult language. You say it to your boss, your friends, your partner, your reflection in the mirror. You say it until the lie feels like manners, until silence feels safer than honesty, until even you start to believe it. But here's the question we'll explore today. Why do so many adults say, I'm fine, when they're clearly not? And what's the real cost of pretending to be okay? Because I'm fine isn't just a sentence, it's a defense mechanism, a social survival strategy that protects your image and slowly erases your truth. Let's start with what's actually happening beneath the phrase. When you say, I'm fine, what you often mean is, I don't want to burden anyone. Or, if I start talking, I might fall apart. Or sometimes, I don't even know how I feel. See, children learn language to connect. Adults learn language to conceal. At some point, you discovered that honesty has consequences. Maybe when you cried and someone said you were too sensitive. Maybe when you opened up and got silence in return. Maybe when you realized that vulnerability makes people uncomfortable. So you learned the performance. Smile, straighten up, say, I'm fine. Because that's what strong people do, right? No, that's what trained people do. Trained to survive in a culture that praises composure and punishes emotion. Psychologists call this emotional suppression, the habitual avoidance of feelings that threaten your sense of control or belonging. It's not a flaw. It's a form of self-protection because somewhere along the way, you equated expression with rejection. You learned that your emotions make people leave, withdraw, or judge, so your nervous system adapted. Every time a feeling rises, your mind sends the same signal, hide it, and the mask becomes automatic. You say, I'm fine so quickly you barely notice it. You say it when you're anxious, when you're grieving, when you're on the edge. You even say it to yourself, in the mirror, half asleep, half breaking. But here's the thing about pretending. Pretending doesn't make the pain disappear. It just buries it deeper until you can't tell where the mask ends and you begin. Let's pause for a second. How many times have you said, I'm fine this week? And how many times was it actually true? That gap between what you feel and what you say, that's the space where emotional exhaustion grows. Because every time you lie about your feelings, you make your body carry what your mouth refuses to express. Your jaw tightens, your chest burns, your sleep gets lighter, your patience shorter. And yet, you keep going, because being fine feels safer than being real. But that safety comes at a price, and the bill always arrives later. Let's look at what that lie costs you. When you say, I'm fine long enough, you lose emotional language. You start mistaking numbness for peace. You can't tell if you're content or just disconnected. You forget how to ask for help or even recognize when you need it. Relationships start to feel distant. People say you seem calm, put together, admirable, but no one really knows you, not even you. Because I'm fine doesn't just hide the pain, it hides the person underneath it. Here's where it gets paradoxical. The longer you lie, the lonelier you feel. But the lonelier you feel, the harder it becomes to tell the truth. You fear that if you finally open up, people will think you're dramatic, weak, broken. But let's be honest, haven't you done that to others too? When someone said, I'm not okay, and you didn't know what to say back, so you said, "It'll be fine." We all participate in the same silent contract. I'll hide my pain if you hide yours. That's how adult society keeps functioning, a web of polite avoidance where everyone's pretending to be strong and secretly praying someone else will go first. Let's break that fourth wall for a moment. This video isn't about judging you. It's about showing you the cost of the mask and what happens when you start to take it off. Because when you say, "I'm fine," while you're breaking, you're not lying to others. You're abandoning yourself. Every false reassurance you give becomes a form of self-rejection. And the more you reject your real emotions, the more you disconnect from your intuition, your body, your truth. That's why you feel tired all the time. Not because you're weak, but because it's exhausting to carry an identity that's always pretending. Let's look at the deeper psychology. When you suppress emotions, your brain doesn't delete them. It stores them in muscle tension, in tone of voice, in habits of withdrawal. What you resist internally will always find a way to express itself externally. That's why you might find yourself snapping over small things, or crying without knowing why, or feeling empty even when everything seems fine. Your body doesn't believe your mouth. It keeps the score, even when you don't. And eventually, your emotions stop asking for attention, they start demanding it. Through burnout, through anxiety, through depression, through that quiet voice at night whispering, "There has to be more than this." So what do? How do you stop living behind "I'm fine"? Step 1, start telling micro-truths. Not everything at once, just small, honest sentences. Instead of "I'm fine," say, "I'm tired," or "I'm overwhelmed, but I'm handling it." Tiny truths reteach your brain that honesty is safe. Step 2, practice emotional literacy. Name your feelings, even privately. Don't settle for good or bad. Try disappointed, lonely, anxious, hopeful. Naming is taming. It brings the chaos back under your care. Step 3, redefine strength. Stop confusing composure with courage. Courage isn't silence, it's sincerity. True resilience doesn't come from hiding your pain, but from holding it with honesty. When you start doing this, something strange happens. People start opening up around you too. Your honesty becomes permission for others to be real. And suddenly, connection feels possible again. Because vulnerability is contagious, and so is authenticity. You'll notice conversations getting deeper, relationships becoming lighter, and that heavy loneliness starting to lift. You'll begin to realize being fine was never your goal. Being whole was. Let's be real, telling the truth won't fix everything. Some people won't know how to handle it. Some will disappear. But the ones who stay, those are your people. The ones who don't flinch when you say, "Actually, I'm not okay." The ones who listen instead of fixing. That's the medicine we all crave, not solutions. Presence. Someone who can sit beside our truth without needing to change it. And you can be that person for yourself too. Because healing doesn't start when someone finally asks, "It's okay, what's wrong?" It starts when you stop answering, "I'm fine." So the next time someone asks how you are, pause, feel, resist the reflex, let the truth rise, even if it's messy. Say something real, even if your voice shakes. Because every time you tell the truth, you pull yourself one step out of isolation and one step closer to freedom. You don't owe the world constant strength. You don't owe anyone an edited version of yourself. And you don't have to be fine to be worthy of love, rest, or peace. You're allowed to be both a work in progress and a masterpiece. If this video spoke to you, if at any point you saw yourself in these words, then take a breath and share it with someone who might need to hear it too. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on the notifications. It really helps this content reach more people, and it allows us to keep growing together with awareness and truth.